Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. Well, just a slow day today, not much going on here. The price has formed a potential 5-wave move up from the low as mentioned. This could be wave C in white, as you might know. We talked about that in the last video. That might be wave C in white. It's a bit short for all of wave C, however. So I already shared in our member update earlier today that we could be dealing with a larger B wave. I mean, it is a messy structure. I see a lot of messy charts, but still I want to help you understand the potentials. And let's start with the most bullish count, actually, the yellow one. Okay, in the yellow scenario, we have a so-called 1-2, potentially even another 1-2 setup, and the price could then break out like this. Yeah. In this scenario, we need to hold the swing low that formed yesterday at $107,600. This level must hold to keep the directly bullish potential alive. This is also true for the orange scenario, which is also directly bullish, but overall would likely just lead to a B wave top. And this is the scenario I added earlier today. I have not added any microstructure to it because it would just make the entire chart a bit messy. Yeah, I was trying to, let's try to keep it clean. I'm going to remove some of these sections of the support areas, the ones we don't need anymore. The trend line is still somehow being respected here. Apologies. But in the orange scenario, we could be dealing with a WXY structure. So instead of a wave 1 down, which is the white scenario that you already know, it could be an A wave down. Why do I say that now? Well, I did say that before, but it didn't matter. Now it matters. Because while this could be a wave 2 to the upside, it doesn't really align well with the microstructures. Okay, so what actually would look quite good is a WXY structure. So this is actually a yeah, like a W, could then even say A. W is a flat correction. The X wave down, and now an ABC. I'm not going to label that because, you know, it's just going to be too much. But an ABC in wave Y. Okay, so should the market push higher more directly, then it could lead to an overshooting B wave without forming a sustained break to the upside. And it like you know, the current environment is kind of one that makes this very likely. Yeah, very, very messy structures. Market hasn't really made a decision yet, you know. So yeah, these are the two directly bullish potentials. In the yellow one, we would obviously then push higher, ideally then break above that Thursday high and so on. But again, we haven't even broken out yet. I just want to show you the orange count because it is one that I'm watching in addition. Now, honestly, the context hasn't changed for a few days anyway, for nearly a week, okay? Context hasn't changed. We haven't really seen a lot of volatility. But here, together we try to make sense of the nanostructures. Both orange and yellow scenarios are valid as long as the Tuesday low is holding. So you have a very, very clear invalidation point, at least locally. It means the local structures are changing. Below that level, white will become more probable, in which we would then break down in a third wave. But again, we're dealing with microstructures here, so we then have to just be we have to be flexible. It might change again, you know. Maybe yellow makes a comeback from lower or something. These are really just micro patterns. The more meaningful area of support is this one, with key support here at 104,168. Yeah, I also call that weak support because there are not really a lot of clean patterns here, but it was respected, okay? It was respected on Friday the 23rd, Sunday the 25th, for example. So yeah, it's quite messy, it's slow. The parameters should all be clear, and we're waiting for a decisive breakout. I mean, I really don't see a direct upside breakout with very high probabilities, but it's of course possible, especially after a potential 5-wave move up that we saw yesterday. Yeah, into the Monday high, actually. But again, you have a very clear invalidation point for that, okay? I personally would not trade the microstructures in this environment. it might be best to focus on the structures relevant on the daily chart, which I share with you every day, because these allow for a little bit more space, yeah, and they avoid that you get chopped out, chopped up if you if we get a quick breakdown and reversal, for example. It is this environment, that makes this very likely. But yeah, for both, good news is for both bullish potentials, we have a very clear invalidation point. And even for the white count, we have a very clear invalidation point, which is a break above the Thursday high. But not very much going on today. I'll keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.